England!
Go on, Lions!
Come on, vamos, Colombia!
Roger, finish!
Whoa. Yeah!
The biggest and most prestigious tournament in the world is just about to begin. Who's going to win it? Will it be with a massive points prove after the last World Cup? Or will it be the current holders, Germany? Or can Pogba and Griezmann lift the trophy for France? Or will it be the three lions? Come on, boys!
Come on, England! Let's go!
You've got to go Spain, Germany, and yeah.
I think France are looking strong. I don't think you can bet against Brazil.
For the last couple of World Cups, Belgium been looking good. They're looking really good this year, but I think we can take them.
Spain is a good team, Brazil is a good one. I hope Croatia.
France don't have the teamwork, right? Brazil, they've got two players in every single position. Brazil will take it this season. I'll tell you why. Because they have the quality, in depth, and they've got a team spirit. That's why.
England's the favourites, obviously, you know what I mean? They're the favourites, they're the favourite boys.
England?
England. Back in 2014, I was quite disappointed. We got to semi-finals, we got thrashed by Germany 7-1. This time, I think, going forward under Tite, I think we could, again, I think we should at least get to the semi-finals.
We are expecting to pass the group, at least. We have good players now, so.
Well, after the disgrace what happened to us against Germany, we have like our hopes up, and I think now we have a good chance to win the World Cup. Yeah. So yes, definitely, we are going to be the champions.
I think we have a good chance. I think we are one of the favorites to win the World Cup, definitely.
Us, Nigeria, will get past the group stage for sure. That's about it.
An African team winning the World Cup is like unprecedented, and if Nigeria's the first team to do that, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
we're getting a bit bored of the whole Spanish,
German,
Brazilian kind of influence. So yeah.
Come on, Niger!
Come on, Brazil! Brazil Hexa!
Football's coming home. Come on!
Live. I'm Louis Beneventi from 100% Chelsea, and I'm joined by Claude and George Akelia, Arsenal and Spurs fans, retrospectively, right next to each other.
Arsenal, Spurs, and Chelsea on the same table next to each other. How's that happening?
Bit mad, isn't it? But obviously, we're here to talk about Denmark versus Australia. Interesting little game, gentlemen. I think Claude, you wrote off quite early, but George Akelia
still going, but
yeah, still about 3 minutes left.
I said it would be a draw, and it looks like I should have had a bet on this.
Yeah, I said 2 on Denmark. I thought Ericsson was going to get 2.
Denmark started great, but Australia clawed their way, and I thought the second half they've been the better side.
No, I agree. 100%.
I agree. I think Australia are a very underrated football team, in my opinion. I think that they obviously people write them off straight away because they are the Aussies and they're not exactly known for their footballing prowess. But I think they've given themselves a good reputation at this competition. Obviously, they're very unlucky against France, in my opinion.
I think so as well.
Put the Pogba goal was superb for France. But I mean, I think in this game as well, they have been on top of the second half. The Danish are sort of quite lucky to be in this position, I feel as well. However, you could argue against that because in the first half there was that controversial VAR. I refuse to call it VAR because it's been called VAR all season. VAR sounds like something you're saying you've had a few drinks. Oh, hello.
Corner of Denmark.
Oh, safe hands.
I thought they were quite fortunate in the first game, Denmark, actually.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Look, we're going to be covering obviously
what do I think about the controversial penalty as well? I mean, I mean, VAR coming into action.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it was a penalty.
No.
I agree. I don't think it was either. I think, obviously, before we even talk about that, and we move even further, we will be taking your calls as soon as the game is over. 0203 606 0315. It's down there. Oh, that's new. I've been here for a while. I haven't seen that. So call us on that number down there. That one. Doesn't it look great? Oh, look at that. Beautiful. But, gentlemen.
Yes.
Let's have a little conversation about it until the game ends. All right.
Okay.
Go on, Claude. Talk to me. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling that a draw, I think, will be the right result in the end. Denmark are coming right there. No, free kick. Yeah, first 20 minutes, Denmark looked on fire. They looked like they were going to come away with it. Australia clawed their way back, and I've been the better team in the second half. I don't know about you, George.
I agree, to be honest. I think Ericsson did well in the first half, obviously with his goal as well. Great finish, my boy. Cheers. But no, second half, it seems to have been all Australia attacking. I think Denmark had probably like 3 attempts and all of them straight at the goalkeeper. Nothing substantial.
What does this mean for that group, though? Because obviously we've got France, Peru later as well. Peru, obviously, people were touting to be a tough team to play against, a dark horse. Obviously,
France weren't very convincing, were they, in the first game?
No.
To be honest, I think none of the major players have been that convincing. When the teams in terms of Brazil, France, Germany, obviously being a massive one.
2 moments from Pogba won them the game, didn't they? But
yeah.
So
I think
the big teams are kind of just undermining underplaying the smaller teams as well. I think always the first game you're trying to suss out the other team, and the smaller ones are coming at attacking and the bigger teams a lot more than we normally see.
Full time.
Yeah, full time.
Well, it's full time. So guys, let's get your calls in. We'll take some of those.
Some money, then I didn't do it. Every time I say something and I don't back it, it comes in. Then it's my luck.
Well, guys, come on, let's have a chat with Claude. Why did he put the bet down? That's banging. George, you do the honours, please, mate.
Right, let's see the first call.
Welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
My name's Jonathan.
Hello, Jonathan, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You were mentioning the dark horse on the Australian team. I mean, I could really, consider myself one. I mean, I do have sexual relations with my dog.
Oh, well.
Well, a bit of a dark horse. That's interesting. But yeah.
Anyone want to talk about actual football?
We do, but one thing we will say is, listen, Jonathan, mate, get some help.
Yeah.
It's all right. Listen, there are people out there that can help you
it's not
with
nice
that situation.
to call his girlfriend that, is it?
Okay, we're going to glaze over that very quickly.
Very controversial. Like that VAR decision.
Anyway. That's that bark. What? Right. But let's talk a bit more about it. Obviously, VAR, Australia apparently being the dark horse, according to Jonathan.
Yeah, I don't know about that. When we're talking about Peru,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, though, obviously, the game wasn't exactly the most interesting.
No.
We'll be honest. It was an all right game of football.
There was a decent amount of chances, but nothing clear at all. Like they all seem to be pretty much straight towards the keeper.
Yeah. No, Jonathan's not on the phone. We're good. No, but yeah, I think we're just checking. Is he on the phone?
No, I think he's gone.
He's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good. We've got another caller. Oh, sweet. Go on, then. Nice. Let's get it. Patch him through.
Talk to
or
us.
her through, whoever it is.
I'm on.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hey, it's John Parkinson.
All right, John Parkinson.
Right, John.
Hello, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, fella.
Yeah, like, mate, if you're going to actually try and do a Scouse accent, you got to actually try and work a bit harder. It's absolutely fucking shocking.
I'm not doing a Scouse accent. I'm from Manchester. I'm John Parkinson. The name's John Parkinson.
You sound okay, right? Oh, that's even more. Right?
Well, I didn't think you was Michael. Anyway.
Go on, mate. What do you think?
You what?
I didn't think you was Michael Parkinson, but anyway, carry on.
No, it's John Parkinson.
So, okay.
Right,
so, John.
I see you, John. Bye. No, to be honest, if we have a chat about John there, mate, get some help. That's some poor acting right there. The fact that he goes, I'm on. Hey, it's John Parkinson.
Yeah, it did make it a bit obvious there.
We do enjoy it. We enjoy having calls. We like truck calls.
Yeah. If anyone actually wants to talk about the Denmark game,
yeah,
please,
exactly. I mean, I thought it was a good game. I thought.
Hopefully, someone can actually.
Third time lucky. Listen.
Welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hello, it's Darrell here.
How are you doing?
Middlesbrough. How are you doing?
Not bad, yourself?
Very good.
Good, thanks. Yeah, it was an interesting game of football to watch, and I'm glad it wasn't 1-0 like yesterday's games. I think, a very good point for Australia, and I think that's their first or second game of the campaign. So, against a Danish side with a lot of good talent like Andreas Christensen, well, he's not that bad, but, Christian Eriksen, Kasper Schmeichel and all them, some Premier League stars in them teams. And, I felt Australia did well to cope with the pressure that Denmark applied on them. I do think VAR, if I'm going to be honest, VAR is a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. I wanted to try and get your point on that, because that's
mate,
one of the reasons I called.
Without that, you wouldn't have got the draw, would they?
Claude, why did you think it was a waste of time? And then why?
Because half the time in the World Cup, the VAR system has been given penalties for no reason. Today, okay, it was a good decision, but I still think it's a waste of time having it in the World Cup, because it ruins the game of football. Because half the time, the referees don't give the penalty when the VAR system shows that it's an actual penalty. You look at that one, Harry Kane against Tunisia, you know, when the guy put his neck round him and all that in the box. And the VAR gave the penalty, but the referee didn't give it. So I think you might as well just leave it to the referee's decision. I mean, what's the point of having it?
So, okay, so what if it was used correctly? Yeah, exactly. If there was a bit of consistency, if you compared it, for example, there's things that could be learned from other sports. I mean, we've covered this a lot. You know, we talk about rugby, marking up referees. Obviously, the assistant referee with the television, you know, does assist the referee rather than.
And I think there should be a challenge system personally.
We've got referees. We've got referees on very high wages. Yeah, they're supposed to be the best referees in the world. Yeah, why do we need all this? We don't really need it, do we? I mean, we should. We've survived all these years without it. Why we got it now? I agree with you, because it's all right. Look, they use it 1 minute. Sometimes the referee doesn't even want to use it. Either you use it consistently or you don't use it at all. I think it's a total waste of time, and I agree with you. I absolutely agree.
Definitely.
But it did help Australia.
The referee can't give a decision unless they're fully certain about it. And then a lot of the times, which I like that's happened in the World Cup, is that the play is carried on, but then the people back in Moscow are telling them, no, I think you should review it, because obviously they've got a clear view from all the cameras. I like that, because that hasn't wasted any time.
Yeah, but then again, look at that. As that Harry Kane one, yes.
I think that was ludicrous. Yeah,
why wasn't that then? Why wasn't that? What was that? Why wasn't that reviewed then?
Well, no, I agree. I think it should have been.
I mean,
I think it should have been, but it's just about consistency, which you're right.
It's a waste of time from either you do it consistently, as long as you do it as it's consistent. Consistently, if it's not consistent, it's not good enough. And as far as I'm concerned, either you do it consistently or you don't do it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched the VAR system be used in the Bundesliga a lot, because I'm obviously a Bayern Munich fan. And I've watched penalties be given against Bayern Munich, which I don't really think are penalties. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly what you've just said there. Either use the VAR system consistently or get shot of it, because otherwise you're just having it in the way. And
doesn't that come down to
obviously,
human
at
error?
the end of the day, it's the referee's decision, isn't it?
Doesn't that come down to human error rather than the consistency?
And also, how can we get consistent with something if we don't try it out and use it?
To be honest,
nothing's ever consistent straight away when you use it.
To be brutally honest as well, this is the best I've seen VAR used.
I agree, 100%.
It has been much better than it's been.
Is it when you?
I think it was a joke in the FA Cup. It was a joke in the Confederation Cup.
Because they're still trying
that was more obvious than anything.
They're
that
still
was more
trying to understand it. It's still trying to understand the concept, aren't they? It's getting its feet under the table, and it is here to stay, regardless of what people like. And if they do or they don't,
tell me what them men are in that room, right? Are watching when Harry Kane is wrestled like that. What are they watching?
I don't know.
They must have had another video on.
Maybe they're watching the Thunderball. I don't know.
Maybe they were watching some porn. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, because at the end of the day, they weren't watching the game, were they?
No,
because they would have told the referee to review it.
Okay. Well, listen, mate. Thank you for your call.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
Thanks very much.
Right, happy days. But we've got another one as
well.
We've
got another call.
Send it in.
Talk to today.
Talk to Terry. Well, not Terry. I'm Louis.
What, the plug? Oh no, I got no.
Oh, it's Jack.
Oh no.
Send him through.
Send him through.
Be nice. Be nice. We're waiting. I'll answer it. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. It's the plug, apparently. Mr. Goldenberg. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you, Louis?
I'm not too bad, thank you. What do you think about the game?
I just want to say, I know...
Good morning, Ultimate Football.
Brilliant
what a finish.
Half volley. One roof of the net, pretty much.
I mean, it was a great goal, but let's talk about Jednak, his beard, and that penalty. I don't want to put that out there first. That's majestic shit right there, Mario. Isn't that?
I'll get there one day. Don't worry.
You won't. George.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Give me a year.
No, yeah, mate, come on, Jack. Tell us, what do you think about the game? Was it boring? Did you enjoy it? Was it quite end to end?
You know what? I'm quite intrigued by Australia because I think they're playing all right. I think they've got a lot of oomph in their stride. And I think they're quite. I'm trying to think of the right word here, but they're quite a driven team. Like they don't sit off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they could actually do better than people think in the competition and how they could progress into the last stage of the World Cup. I mean, I have a feeling they could actually surprise a lot of people, and they could be one of the surprise packages of the tournament. I think them and Russia both look at teams that really have something that is unique, and it's like one of those. You know how there's normally an African team that really pushes into the final stage of the tournament, like hitting the quarters or the semis. I think it could be one of them two who make that surprise into the World Cup, and I think that they could cause a lot of big nations a lot of problems, and I really stand by that. I've been quite impressed by them.
Who do you see as such a key player for that position? Sorry, George.
No, it's okay.
What with which of the what you mean with Australia?
I'll tell you what. No, let George ask his question. I'll cut him over. Go on.
No, I was just going to say that I've been impressed with their performance, but I wouldn't necessarily put them on the level Russia have been so far, because I mean they've done well, but still I don't think they would be able to challenge a lot of the massive sides, because it was France's first game. A lot of teams had a poor first game this year, and I think if they were to play them maybe second or third, it would be a completely different story.
I mean, I think France will win it, but I mean, if you look what's that bit? If you look at that part of it though, like Russia haven't had the greatest of opposition to play against, and Saudi Arabia and others, like they're weak opposition, whereas Australia have had two very, very strong. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see your point. We'll have to wait until the next Russian game to see if.
I personally don't see Belgium getting as far as they should. Unfortunately, I don't think that they have the correct. I'd say not criteria because they've got one of probably the best squads, but the actual teamwork ability and how they gel is not there, and it's a shame because they do have a fantastic squad. I think Spain could go all the way, but I think France are too strong for anyone really. And I think their depth and the way they're run and their management is second to none, and it is really quite impressive to watch. I mean, the fact that they can bring Giroud off the bench when they've already got Griezmann or they've got Mbappe, just every single bit of depth is ridiculous.
I agree.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Jack, mate, thanks for your call. Take care. We'll see you very soon, yeah?
Also, I think I'm going out there at some point.
Oh, okay. We'll make sure you hit Robbie and whoever's out there, and then we'll figure it out. But, mate, take care.
Have a good time.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. But, yeah, I think, he's made some very good points there.
He did.
I think Australia might struggle to get through still.
Yeah.
I think
point, and even if they win,
because Australia, Peru would be the next game.
So who's in that group? You got
France, Peru, Denmark.
And Denmark won their first game, didn't they? So Denmark on 3 points. France are on 4. France are currently on 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it hinges. To be honest, I think France will win against
France.
They
should do.
That will really show that.
Yeah. And so that would be. I mean, but then what will France and Denmark? Yeah.
I think we'll hit. Yeah.
It'll go down to the last games for them.
It's going to go down to the last game. I think the big thing here is the interesting part about that group is you're going to have to see how France perform, because France need to prove to people that they've got that pedigree. It's a very young squad, however, it is a very well-rounded squad as well. You know, it's probably, I'd say it's got the best potential in the world.
I agree. No, I agree. I said that before the tournament started. I picked France to have one of the best squads.
Yeah.
Of anyone in the world.
Yeah, but to be honest, in this game against Peru, which we'll be covering that later as well. The three of us will be back doing that. But yeah, the three of us will be covering that, and we will be taking your calls on that game as well. But we're going to take a little break from talking, because I'm guessing you're going to get a bit bored from us. And we've got some fan cams from Russia. Check these out.
Amazing match, but Australia, we have to win the next match. Have to win the next match. It was good to draw, but we got to do better than that.
It was good.
We were better than Denmark. So. Yeah, we played better than Denmark, but we're gonna score quite a few goals in the next one.
Thank you very
Go
much.
Australia!
Thank you. Go for it. Yeah, it's recording. What do you think of the game?
The game itself was pretty close. It's just another Aussie home game, just like the France game. We got another VAR decision, which is good. But it's good to see technology in use. So football was the winner of the day, really. Just be real PC about it. But it was a really good game, went from end to end after a pretty stale start.
Are you enjoying your current stay in Russia?
Russia's bloody awesome, man. Everyone here is super nice. All the stereotypes, no, they don't really exist. It's just an amazing city.
Oh, excellent. How much do you want? Go for it. What do you think of the game?
Fan reaction?
Yeah, absolutely.
Denmark sucked. Denmark sucked. Holy fuck. I didn't travel all the way from China to here to watch a Danish team play amateur team as Australia like this. It was shitty. Seriously, it was shitty. I mean, it's the 1 point is okay for Denmark, but you need to put up a sort of competition for it. It's okay. Let's hope we can still move on, but it was disappointing watching this.
Yeah, we're hoping to beat France, and of course we're also a little bit disappointed about seeing how many people actually came to Denmark, to Russia from Denmark, compared to the Australians. For us, it's about 2 hours flight. And for you guys, it's like, what, 18 hours or something? So we're a little bit disappointed to see that actually we are outnumbered 1 to 10 or something about this.
Have you been enjoying your trip in Russia?
Yeah, we came yesterday. We had a spontaneous trip.
Came yesterday though.
Came all the way from China. Mad.
We live in China. We came. We got some tickets actually last Saturday and decided to go if Denmark was winning the match, and they did. So we bought the tickets and we're just here.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Some great calls there coming from Denmark and Australia fans. When I say calls, I mean fan cams. I'm like him.
Oh, you're losing it, mate.
That Danish fan was a bit harsh, wasn't he?
Yeah. Was he?
Well, you called them useless, I think. I don't think they were.
You look at that squad on paper.
Well, they got 2 players.
Eric, this is one thing that annoys me when people talk about the World Cup. People saying Colombia and Poland and teams like that are awful. You look at the spines of those teams. There are some very, very good players.
I've never said they're awful. I love Colombia's team.
That Danish team. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they got Kasper Schmeichel in goal. You've got Christensen and some guy that plays in the Bundesliga as a centre back partnership. You've got Eriksen in midfield. You've got Delaney as well.
Sesto's pretty good.
Yeah, and you got Poulsen who plays for.
Leipzig
up front. Yeah. So you know you've got a solid team there, and if you compare that to Australia's team,
they should be doing a lot better in that game.
They should be. So I understand why he's saying that, and obviously it's a systematic version of national pride as well, and it's understandable because I feel the same when England play.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think that was good. Contradicting Claude's point about VAR. Let's talk about that Aussie fan, shall we? Another decision for Australia from VAR. Let's talk just about that. Because we haven't really spoken about that yet.
Specifically the penalty decision.
That was a poor decision.
I agree.
Well,
that was a poor decision. Do you disagree?
Well, poor. He's got his hand.
Because Jack Lundmark here says it's a penalty. He stopped the ball from going to the goal.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's put his hand there. I mean, I'm sorry.
But from what I could see, didn't look like it was going on target to the goal. And also, he jumped up and tried to. He already had his arms up before the ball even came in. And tried to move it away as quick as possible when it came across, but it just hit his hand. Well, listen, I don't think that should be a penalty.
Well, I think we've got another video coming through now, guys. Okay. So check that out. But first of all,
I just don't like the inconsistency. Either they're doing it, do it properly.
Look, cool. Let's continue this argument off camera, okay? And we'll come back to it and have a chat in a minute. But check out this video, guys. It's going live in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, UFF fam? It's Byron Ryan. You can follow me on Instagram at Byron_Ryan. Just got done watching Denmark versus Australia. Socceroos put up one heck of a fight. They had their chances, they just didn't finish them. Yusuf Poulsen with the handball in the penalty area got a PK out of it. The Beard converted 1-1. I mean, it was a good match all the way around. Denmark still is unbeaten every time Christian Eriksen scores. They take the top of the group. Now we have France and Peru to see how that one's going to turn out. If France wins, they take top of the group, and then it comes down to the last game to decide who the second one is, between basically Denmark and Australia, and then depending on what Peru does today. But yeah, I mean, now we just move on to the next game. Can't really analyze a lot off of that Denmark-Australia game, besides Australia has the coolest team name with the Socceroos. It's just awesome. But yeah, I mean, now we move on to the next game. We'll see how France decides to take on Peru, and we'll see if Peru decides to show up and create another upset. But we'll see y'all after the game. Byron Ryan out.
Somebody can literally be open doing that kind of stuff. You can't be doing that.
There's no way that was a penalty.
You can't. Oh, we're not.
Sorry.
We carry on.
We're just stressing.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Roll the next tape. Roll it back.
Good morning, Ultimate Football fans. It's your boy Devin Friel, live here in Atlanta, Georgia. Just finished watching this Denmark-Australia match, which for a 1-1 matchup, I thought it was great. I thought there was a lot of talent on the pitch. Eriksen with a moment of pure class, just pure shot. It was beautiful, beautiful goal to put Denmark up 1-0. Then all credit to Australia. They never stopped fighting, yet in that converting the penalty, which came from VAR. In about the 38th minute, I believe, and then it was just end-to-end action, and both teams attacking. Schmeichel with some huge saves to keep Denmark in. Arzani, when he came on for Australia, was incredible. So a lot of energy, a lot of high. It kind of reminded me of like a Riyad Mahrez type coming down the wing and making crosses. Just nobody on the end of them for Australia. But 1-1, 1 point. It was a fair point to each team. Would have loved to have seen a winner, but in the end, both teams fought hard, and we got more to watch.
Well,
was that Jurgen Klopp there?
Don't be mean.
Klopp, that looked like Jurgen Klopp.
Don't be mean. He raised some very good points, to be fair. Yeah, he's raised some very good points there. He's been talking about Arzani. Now he's a 17-year-old, I think. For
is he that young?
Right. He's 17 years old. He only made his debut 5 months ago in the A-League. I know this because of BBC the other day. In Australia,
yeah, he did.
France.
Well, he did really well though, considering
he's a very good player. Jeez. And he's this is what I like, and we're going to draw this back to England now, and I want to talk a bit about England.
Oh, you always got to draw it back to England.
We have to, because we're English.
Obviously.
God save our gracious Queen. Although I really hope that Brexit.
You mean Tottenham, don't you? Do you mean Tottenham?
Hey, Tottenham are playing the best football, and they've got the top players in the squad. I'm not going to say that they're playing the best football in London, but they haven't won a trophy yet.
When half the team, just next year, don't worry.
That could be the England.
It's coming home to Spurs.
You're going to be like West Ham in '66, aren't you? We're going to win the World Cup in 1966.
Wait, if we win the World Cup, I don't care.
It
doesn't matter.
Not even Tottenham, just we won the World Cup. Let's be honest, though. This is the second stage of England.
I'll only celebrate if Danny Welbeck comes on and scores the winner.
Oh, come on. Danny Welbeck scores a winner in the final. I think literally.
We'll only win if Danny Welbeck gets on a plane back to England.
Yeah, get rid of Danny Welbeck. Personally, Ross Barkley. Why not shove him straight in?
He scored more England goals than Harry Kane, mate. So don't be knocking.
I don't know. Well, let's be honest. If you draw back to England, but we're talking about young players that play with no fear. And I think that's a beautiful thing that we've got. We've got the third youngest squad at the tournament.
Yep.
We've got a very good team at that as well.
It's quite dynamic as well.
It's very dynamic, and I think one people completely underestimate is
Italiano.
Yeah,
sei italiano.
Io sono italiano per
sei inglese adesso.
Sì, sei inglese.
Sei inglese adesso. Sei italiano, no?
Shut up, Claude. Right, we'll deal with this in a bit. We'll have that conversation later.
Yeah.
Georgie was speaking Italian, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, sorry, I was just
Sam.
in my own world.
But look, let's put it this way. Let's talk about England.
Yep.
Right, and Claude, be English for this conversation.
Oh.
Really?
We have a caller.
Welcome to FanPark Live. You distracted my fly, but this better be good. What's your name?
Hello, my name's Samuel.
Hello, Samuel, mate. How are you
doing?
Yeah, is this the Australian game? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. This game is, I find in this World Cup, Denmark, they have luck. Their team, they aren't playing well, but they're getting results. This is how I feel like about Denmark in the World Cup.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that Denmark have been riding their luck at the tournament so far.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What the argument we were raising earlier about Denmark? Obviously, they have a very strong spine. Do you think that they should be progressing further than maybe round of 16? Do you think that they deserve that?
Yeah, I think Judge, they are a very capable side, and they have so many young talents. Like they have Christiansen. They are capable because the team, they should be performing better than how they're performing now. Because I feel like they're just kind of like walking on strings. I feel like they're walking on the strings.
Well,
they're lucky.
If they progress, they might get better. You know, some teams they start off slowly and they get better as the tournament goes on.
We will have to see after the French game. We don't know. But I have to say one thing. For Australia, did you know? Do you know about that 19-year-old? Like, is it Daniel Astiari? This guy is good.
The young kid.
Yeah. This guy looks like a future coming up player. This guy looks really good.
So what? One of our previous fan cams suggested that he reminds him a bit of Riyad Mahrez. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, this guy looks extremely good. Like he's like one of the most creative players in the Australian team. But for Australia now, I think they can go through, but they need to. Yeah, they need to beat Peru, like in a big number, but. So I think this position is between Australia and Denmark, the second position. The French are definitely going through, no doubt.
Okay.
Does it go by if the teams are level? Does it go on head to head or goal difference?
Goal difference first, I believe.
Is it?
I think so.
Sorry, I can't hear. Can you say louder?
Yeah, I'd like to put that out. Anyone knows? Does it go head to head or goal difference if points are level?
I don't know. Actually, I don't.
Anyone out there that can put me right on that?
Anyone in the comments, maybe?
Mate, listen, thank you for your call. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think that he's made some good points again. That is going to be between Denmark
it's a close
and Australia.
one. It's got to be down to the result, like how the games play out with France and Denmark.
It's an entertaining competition.
Yeah.
Having said that, Peru were very unlucky against Denmark, and they could cause France a problem.
And we'll find out in a couple of hours how that goes.
We will find out in a couple of hours because guess what? Like I said earlier, we're covering that game.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we're
gonna have to deal with me more.
Oh, no.
And I know how much people love to hear what I have to say. But other than that,
you do love yourself, don't you, mate?
No, it was sarcasm. But yeah, listen, guys, I've been told that I need to wrap up because
he's talking too much. We don't want to.
Shut up, George.
So,
shut up.
Join us again.
Join us again. But first, before we even start to wrap up, we've got one more set of fan cams. Check these out.
One more.
Again, we're going to do the countdown again. Ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
About the trip, the game?
Just one comment. Australia should stay with the fucking video games.
Yeah, but
Australia played well. Australia played well, we didn't. So congratulations, Australia. Definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Beautiful.
No worries.
Go for it.
No, you
just say what you think about the game, guys. Okay, did you enjoy the trip, everything? As much
Samara's very pretty, and we're glad we've played like that at the last half.
Yeah, it was a good game to watch, and hopefully we'll get the result in Sochi against Peru.
Denmark won, Australia won. The game just finished. One outside of the ground. I mean, that atmosphere has been incredible. Australian fans absolutely made it, and it was a fantastic game from the Australian side. Denmark has disappointed. I mean, their fans didn't show up, the players did not show up, and to be fair, I did think that Australians should have won this game. Nevertheless, the World Cup continues, and not a 0-0 game yet, and I'm excited for more to come. And good luck on the show, guys.
So we've just seen Australia draw with Denmark, an amazing goal by Christian Eriksen. God, I was celebrating that one myself, and I've never even been to Denmark. I'm not a bloody Eriksen fan either. Australia, they always look like they've got a fight in them. I mean, Jedinak even looks like some crazy Viking warrior, doesn't he? But he's doing the job. It's unspectacular, but it's working. They've got a point now. They're unlucky in their first game. But they're not going to set the world alight. Maybe they should just stick to rugby. France, I think, has got this group. We'll know by tonight. But apart from that, good game, interesting game, fight for both teams. Excited for the last game of both of them.
We do love a raspberry to round off the show. But other than that, guys, make sure you come back. France versus Peru later today. Me, Claude and George will be returning to give you coverage of that. Also, during that game, make sure you call that number. That is just down below. That one that's looking so lovely down there. And guys, subscribe to Ultimate Football Fan. Subscribe to Football Terrace if you're watching on there. Check out all our relevant channels. Obviously, Claude has got his. George has got his.
Yep.
I've got mine. 100% Chelsea. George Keelia. And then obviously Guna Claude is your one, isn't it?
Yeah, Cool TV.
Exactly. So guys,
Very
make sure you go
nice.
and check those out. We will see you in a bit for the second game. France versus Peru. We'll be back at full time. And we'll see you very soon.
Peace.